Hi guys, so today I want to talk about commando rope, which is a cool way to manage your cordage. Because if you're like me, on your first camping or bushcraft trip, basically you brought a huge hunk of paracord into the woods and it was just incredibly too long. Got tangled up everywhere into impossible knots, and then you were cutting it all the time. Sometimes you need a shorter length, sometimes you need a really long length, and then rolling it all back up and storing it again is also challenging. So this really ties into cordage management and how do you work with this stuff and avoid having one big tangled mess? A really old and neat way of doing this is called commando rope or toggle rope. Sometimes they have two loops at the end. Sometimes they have a toggle at one end and a loop at another end. And the way this works is you have, say, about 6 feet or a couple of meters of rope that has a loop at one end and a loop or toggle at the other. And it's about this long, right? You can choose the length. 6 feet was standard in the military and later adopted by Boy Scouts. And you can take several of these and you can just connect them with a loop-to-loop connection. And the way you do this is you take one loop, you place it on top of the other, then you reach down and pull the cord through. And there you go. You've extended your rope. So now I have 12 feet of rope. And, if you have about, say, 6 of these, 8 of these, then you can do pretty much anything you need to. And then when you're done with them, you can store them really easy. Just take it apart. And then to roll it back up, what you do is take the loop, put it over your next to last finger, and then make a figure 8 around your thumb and your. I'm not used to doing this looking at the camera, facing the camera. Yeah, leaving about this much length. And then just wrap that up. And put a little half hitch in there. And that's all there is to it. Now you can go a little further with this, and you can make you can also have these loops, and I like to have these because they can you can take this loop and you can hang your rope on it using some carabiners. If you want to, you can hang this on your belt. But it becomes more than that because these carabiners can help you set up your tarp if you're setting up a tarp. Because if you want to do say you have a ridge line, and then you want to attach your tarp to that ridge line, then you can just take this loop here. You can, first you run your ridge line using your larger diameter cordage, and then you take this loop here and you can hang your tarp with a prusik knot, like this, using the loop. And so, with this kind of configuration, you can really quickly set up a shelter, and also avoid getting your cordage all tangled up and having to cut it all the time, and then having pieces that are too short. That's the concept. This is called. You can look it up. You can look up how to make them more historically if you want. They're called commando rope or toggle rope. They were traditionally made of a much thicker gauge manila rope, and the loops were more. They were actually woven into the rope. But if you want to make a simple one, I'll show you real quick how to do that. If you want to do kind of like I've done here with just some simple knots and paracord. So take you some paracord, and for the length, I like to just do it real simple. Do 3 lengths, like so. Basically from the middle of your chest to the reach of your arm, 3 times. Then cut that. And whenever you cut paracord, you want to melt the end here. This will stink a little bit. So it doesn't unravel. Oh, this one's weird. You get this kind of tarry goop when you melt it. Alright. Alright, so once that's done, you just make 2 loops. And I like to do it this way. I'd like to do about 3 fingers here, and about 3 or 4 fingers extra on the end. And then just make a loop and pull it through. Kind of situate the knot. There you go. And same on the other side. So you're just doubling up the cord and making a simple loop. Doubling up the end. And there you go. Commando rope. And once more. 1 loop over the other. Then pull that end through to connect them. Alright, and there you have it. So give that a try, and I hope it solves some cord management issues for you. Thanks, and see you again soon.